All right, I've got us off of mute for the moment, just to explain to anybody who happened to pop in that I will be muting us in just a bit so that I can pull up the Twitch and the YouTube streams without the audio from those interrupting us. So I'm going to go mute now and pull those things up. All right, wonderful. I've got all of that configured, so we're taken care of. And I'm going to drop the link tree into YouTube and Twitch. And Tej, you're going to drop that in the regular Facebook Live. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for playing Gentleman Octopus Trivia. We'll be getting started with question number 1 in right about 10 minutes. But for now, we're just setting up all of our multi-stream partners to make sure that everybody on YouTube and Twitch has everything they need to play in this game. If you're new to the game, we are going to provide you with everything you need, starting with the link tree that is being posted. That will have all of your answer sheets for rounds 1 through 5, plus it'll give you access to the live trivia leaderboard. Just important to note that the results of the leaderboard are not final until we have verified all of the answers and gone over the correct answers for the affected round. So if you feel like you're missing some points, give it a moment. We'll make sure that everything is validated, everything is entered correctly, and then we will release those scores. But you can keep track of your standings at any point by checking that trivia leaderboard, so take advantage of that. Well, 10 minutes to go. Let me move over here and go away webcam-wise as we thank our supporters. We have so many more to add after our fundraiser last week, and I will make an effort to do that in the coming week. But for now, I'd like to say thank you to a bunch of regular supporters here. Jason Kwong, John Liu and Rachel Schumann, Jason Hess, JT Trujillo, Will Gilbert, who is going to be contributing, by the way, a question for tonight. Excellent. First time in a while we've used a Will question, and that has nothing to do with how we feel about our friend Will's questions, which are always top-notch, but just in the fact that we have had a surfeit of questions, really, just been on a bit of a creative boom. So it's been hard to find places to put in questions that weren't regularly scheduled in advance, as with Sarah's questions. So again, want to say thank you to Will for being a contributor. And if you want to contribute a question to Octopus Trivia, all you got to do is send either one of us a direct message or send one to the company page and reach out. We love to get all kinds of varied perspectives and learn about things we didn't know about before. So definitely reach out if you feel like contributing. Stephanie Andrew, Stephen Glassman, and Mark Dawson, thank you very much. Michelle Barton, Martin Butterick, and Clifford Gallagher, Kent Buxton, Daniel McMarthy, Richard Mason, Daniel Ludlum, and Dan Fitzpatrick, and of course, Sarah Ann Rapp, who again has contributed a question to tonight's game. So in total, you're going to have 4 authors on tonight's set. So get ready for a wide variety of questions.
And hopefully no more fuck-ups.
I'm pretty thrilled about the variety of questions, especially in our latter rounds. And I feel like there's a good variety of difficulties tonight. I feel a couple of questions in round number 4 are going to be maybe even unquestionably the hardest of the night. But I think that even within that round, there are still a bunch of gettable things for sure, and even a couple of easy ones. So I really feel like this is going to be an interesting night. I want to see the stats for this one, very much so. So that's all of the people we'd like to say thank you to now. We didn't run these last week as we were doing a fundraiser and making sure that every cent went to the Braden Smith Memorial Fund, but we're bringing them back this week. If you would like to get your hands on a Gentleman Octopus shirt or a bottle opener, then all you got to do is send us $25 or more for a shirt to Venmo at McKinney-Sizemore or using PayPal at ksizemore@hotmail.com. $10 or more will get you a bottle opener, provided you don't already have one, or if you want to specifically request one, that's totally fine too. But yeah, the amount for that is $10 or more. If you send, say, like 30 or more, we'll send you a combo, give you both. I know for a fact, if he's here tonight, I'd like to make sure I mention this, that Jerome is hoping to get another bottle opener, and I have not been to the post office this week, but I am aware that Jerome is looking for a bottle opener, and will absolutely fulfill that probably this coming week.
Yep.
So, Jerome, thank you very much for contributing, as you so often do, and we'll make sure that we get you taken care of. Let's see. Oh, also want to remind people that I haven't yet posted the scores to my classical music quiz because I've only had a couple of people report their scores. So many more have played and have contributed, which I really, really appreciate. But that quiz is still live. And if you at any point would like to get better at classical music, I have a 60-question quiz all on the topic. That has been released on a pay-what-you-want basis. You can read the whole thing for free, questions and answers, and at the end, evaluate the quality, evaluate the amount of enjoyment you've derived from the set, and decide what, if anything, you would like to give, which you can do so at Venmo or PayPal, those handles there, which are also attached to the answer form. I am actually going to get the link to the classical music folder with the quiz and the answers, and I'm going to send that to TJ so he can post that in the comment thread for you there for everybody on Facebook, and I'll post it also for everybody on YouTube and on Twitch to check it out. Like I said, totally a pay what you want basis, so check it out, decide if it's something you want to play, if it's something you want to pay for playing, and hit me up on Venmo if you appreciate the effort. We always appreciate that. And speaking of things we appreciate, I'd like to say thank you to Martin Butterick, I believe, getting us started tonight with the first contribution.
Thank you very much, Martin.
Thank you very, very much for that, Martin. Now we're going to move over and talk about our pals over at QuickWit. We've got a great question coming for you live tomorrow on QuickWit. And if you've never played it before, you should totally download QuickWit. It is a fun, competitive trivia app that asks you 2 questions at random points throughout the day. You will have 15 minutes to answer a riddle-like question that often requires general knowledge, but also can be supplemented with whatever you're able to Google. And in fact, Googling is strongly recommended, by the way.
And required.
I think I've only won a handful that haven't required a single Google.
Yep.
But yeah, it is a lot of fun. You get to go on a Google Safari, learning things and figuring out a riddle-like question in pursuit of a fun consumer product. The most recent things that we've gotten are a weighted sleep mask, a diamond head ukulele, and a popcorn maker.
Yep,
We've been using that.
Using the popcorn maker.
I don't even need a whole lot of popcorn, but I feel it tastes so much better coming out of that popcorn maker.
It's good.
It's satisfying to watch it and work. And I mean, also putting like the butter in the little top part and just letting the butter melt while you're making the popcorn is, that's just
so
perfect.
Enjoyable.
That's just perfect. But yeah, download QuickWit if you already have it. Make sure it's updated so you can see and play our question coming at you tomorrow afternoon. All right, it is close to time, so let's come on back and introduce you to the rules. So, pretty straightforward. Make sure that you submit your answers using the Google Forms we provided in the link tree, which should be in the comments of the Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube streams. Make sure that on those forms you include your team name and that you submit your form how many times, TJ?
Just the once.
Just the once, absolutely. There will be 5 rounds of 8 questions tonight, and your middle round will be a music round with a theme. Hey, Jerome, I was just talking about you earlier, making sure that you know that we know that you want a bottle opener, and we will be hooking you up this week. So thanks for coming by again. Again, feel free to play individually or team up with others if you have some kind of option for that. Each correct answer to a question is worth 1 point. The only exception here is in the music round, a correct title is worth 1 point, and a correct artist is worth a separate 1 point.
And your round is also going to be themed, and the theme is worth 2 bonus points.
So even if you don't have an idea, definitely take a guess at it because it's worthwhile. I mean, it's worthwhile to guess at every question. There's no penalties for wrong answers, for sure. This isn't the SAT, exactly. Yeah. What, do you lose like a third of a point, I thought it was?
0.25, I thought. I thought it was a quarter of a point.
A quarter of a point.
Yeah.
Questions will be read once and then recapped. After the recap, I will put up a timer for 3.5 minutes. Tree fitty?
Tree fitty.
About tree fitty.
About tree fitty.
And you will have that time to submit your answers. During that time, we'll also run through the slides just one more time so you can see them again and again and again. You'll see them a maximum of 4 times, or a minimum, rather, of 4 times before we give you the answer. There will be no final question, and tiebreakers are only used in the event of a first-place tie.
Tiebreakers are also only written in the event of a first-place tie.
Yeah, we'll put all of the questions into a random number generator. Whatever number that gives us, we will write a question that corresponds to something covered in the number that is identified by that
and
question.
Will most likely be a closest to the pin, something along those lines.
Yeah, almost certainly. It's harder to do it in a whole lot of other ways. So that's it. That is it. And it is 9 o'clock. So TJ, why don't you get us started with question number 1?
Question number 1. English zoologist Desmond Morris. Most famous work is likely what 1967 book that compares humans to other primates with the title identifying a key distinction between the species. The species.
That was fun.
English zoologist Desmond Morris's most famous work is likely what 1967 book that compares humans to other primates with the title identifying a key distinction between the species. That is question number 1.
All right, question number 2 is nice and short for you. Which African nation is the largest in total area of the 3 countries that share part of their land area with Lake Victoria? So again, Lake Victoria touches 3 different African nations. Which of those nations is the largest by total land area? That's a nice short, spiffy question number 2.
Spiffy.
Spiffy indeed.
Question number 3. What NBA team has had 11 head coaches since the year 2000, with their current head coach, Dwayne Casey, arriving at the team after winning Coach of the Year with the Toronto Raptors? That's a fine how do you do. You can't beat LeBron. Go. After winning a Coach of the Year, Dwayne Casey got absolutely canned by the Raptors. What team is he coaching now that has had 11 head coaches since the year 2000?
Yep.
What NBA team is that?
That's question number 3. Question number 4. What has a larger game tree than tic-tac-toe? The limited amount of moves have resulted in a strong solution and guaranteed win for player 1 in what Hasbro tabletop game? What Hasbro tabletop game is an example of a strongly solved game with a guaranteed win for player 1? This solution is in part to the fact that it has a limited amount of moves, even though that game tree is still larger than tic-tac-toe. That's question number 4.
Question number 5. First foreign film to win the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. What 2013 film? It's not 2013.
Oh.
It's 2003.
Oh.
I know that for a fact.
That makes a lot more sense.
I wrote this question.
Yeah, you did.
Can you tell? What 2003 film takes place in the
2001.
world? 2001? Yep. Oh, wow. Where'd you get 13 from?
I have no idea.
Cool. What 2001 film takes place in the world of Kami after the protagonist's parents are turned into pigs?
Go ahead and...
Never mind the cock-ups.
Yeah, never mind the cock-ups for
The
sure.
first foreign film to win the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. What 2001 film takes place in the world of Kami after the protagonist's parents are turned into pigs? That is question number 5.
Yep, and Solano Lopez, I saw your request for the answer form link, and that is back in the Twitch chat there. So thanks very much for reaching out. TJ, thanks very much for correcting what was an absolute airball on my part. Hey, and Quickwit, thanks very much for the like. Everybody, make sure you play Quickwit. It's fun stuff. Moving on to question number 6. This is your Identify the Animal question. For those just joining us, there are 2 questions that are thematically similar every week. Round number 1, question number 6, is an Identify the Animal question. And round number 2, question number 8, is a Randy Anagram question.
And Randy it is.
Randy indeed. This is your animal question. Seen on the following slide, what AKC recognized dog breed, an Australian sheepdog known for its athletic body and pointed ears, shares its name with a protean creature in Scottish mythology? What name is shared by a protean creature in Scottish mythology, as well as a type of Australian sheepdog, which is seen on the following slide and identified from its athletic body type and pointy ears?
And name the good boy.
And name the good boy. That is a good boy. The paws just folded like that. That's nice. And those are some pointy ears. So we're looking for the name of that type of Australian sheepdog there. Again, this particular dog is an
That's
AKC.
sheepdog?
It's a type.
Yeah.
It's a type. I mean, it works with sheep.
Yeah.
That makes it a sheepdog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not the Hanna-Barbera.
It's not Sam the
It's
sheepdog.
not Sam the
No,
sheepdog.
it's not Sam the sheepdog. But, yeah, that creature, again, that breed, rather, shares its name with a protean creature from Scottish myth. That's question number 6.
And question number 7, seen on the following slide. The Maryland Inn in Annapolis on the left and the 47 Plaza West in Brooklyn on the right are 2 of the many buildings known by what nickname, which is much more famously applied to another East Coast building that was constructed in 1902. So once again, seen on this slide is the Maryland Inn in Annapolis on the left. And on the right is 47 Plaza from Brooklyn.
Yep.
Both are known by what nickname that is much more famously associated with the structure that was constructed in 1902. That's all correct, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only other clue is that structure, that much more famous one, is also an East Coast building.
Yep. So you got the Maryland Inn on the left and 47 Plaza in Brooklyn on the right. They're both known by what moniker?
And that's question number 7.
That is indeed. You can go ahead and bring us back now.
I can definitely do that, and I will finish us out here in round number 1 with question number 8. Commonly made with either egg noodles or potato, what Ashkenazi casserole is popularly served on Shabbat? Again, popular with the Ashkenazi Jews and popularly served on Shabbat. What dish is essentially an egg noodle or potato casserole? That one's question number 8, and let's roll it back and do the recap.
Time for the recap. And question number 1, English zoologist Desmond Morris's most famous work is likely what 1967 book that compares humans to other primates, with its title identifying a key difference between the species. I was going to say a special difference.
Special difference?
A special difference.
Yeah.
Special.
Fun stuff.
That's question 1.
Question number 2, there are 3 different African countries that share part of their land area with Lake Victoria. Of those 3, which is the largest in total land area? So which of the 3 countries that touches Lake Victoria is largest in total land area? That's question 2.
Question number 3, Dwayne Casey is the current head coach of what NBA team that has had 11 different head coaches since the year 2000? That's question 3.
That is question 3.
Yeah.
Can confirm. Question number 4, what Hasbro tabletop game is a strongly solved game that guarantees a win for player 1? This game's solution relies on the fact that it has a larger game tree than tic-tac-toe, but still a limited number of possible moves. That's question number 4.
Mm-hmm. Question number 5. The first foreign film to win the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. What 2001 film takes place in the world of Kami after the protagonist's parents are turned into pigs? Protagonist's parents go oink. They go to Kami. What 2001 animated film is that?
2013. I have no idea where that came from.
No idea either.
No idea. All right, question number 6 here on this slide is an AKC recognized dog breed. It is what type of Australian sheepdog, recognizable from its athletic body type and pointed ears? This type of Australian sheepdog also shares its name with a protean creature from Scottish myth. What name is shared by a protean creature from Scottish myth, as well as the pictured type of Australian sheepdog right there? That's question 6.
Question 7. On the following slide is the Maryland Inn in Annapolis on the left and 47 Plaza on the right in Brooklyn. Both of those buildings, as well as many others, share what nickname? Nickname is much more famously associated with a building also on the East Coast that was constructed in 1902. I think you had the high points there.
I think you did. That was all of the question. And that was question 7. And question number 8. Commonly made with either egg noodles or potato, what Ashkenazi casserole is popularly served on Shabbat? And that's the whole thing. Yep, that's it. That is your recap, everybody. So I'm going to put up the timer. Let me pull up our countdown program just now. And then you will have 3.5 minutes to submit your answers. TJ, what are you in the mood for musically?
A little bit Calypso.
Calypso. That sounds great. A little Belafonte action, or, Belafonte light. Royalty-free Belafonte, of course. Let's see. Calypso. Ava Calypso Carrere, India Poppers. Not exactly sure that's what I'm looking for, but that all looks... Nope. Okay. I will... find something for that. Anyway, your timer is being constructed now. 3 minutes and 32 seconds. That is started. I will put that up on the board, and then we will go over all of the slides one more time so you can see them again. Good luck, everybody.
Best of luck.
Yep. Submit your answers soon. Bye for now. All right, we are back and ready to deliver the answers from round number 1. So let's get started. TJ with question number 1.
Question number 1. English zoologist Desmond Morris's most famous work is likely what 1967 book that compares humans to other primates? With its title, identifying a key distinction between the species. Desmond Morris's book is The Naked Ape.
Yep.
That's from That's from Bring It On.
That's from Bring It On, yeah.
That-
it's always kind of stuck with me that for some reason that guy whose name I can't remember from Bring It On.
The guy who does Oh Torrance.
That song, yeah. That decently trashed song.
Yeah.
That picks up at the middle.
Yeah, it does.
But I just love the fact that he's reading The Naked Ape at the high school football game.
Yep. At least they win shit occasionally.
Question number 2. Which African nation is the largest of the 3 countries that share part of their land area with Lake Victoria? Coincidentally, one of those countries is actually right behind us. I'm going to introduce you to our flags. We've got Kenya here tonight with the striking black, red, and green. And then
Honduras.
But yeah, there are 3 different nations that share part of their land area with Lake Victoria. You've got Uganda, which I believe is the smallest of the 3. Then you have Kenya, the second largest of the 3, also second smallest since there's only 3. And then almost twice the size of Kenya is Tanzania. Tanzania is your answer there, and there's Lake Victoria touching on some stuff.
Touching on some
stuff. That's question 2.
Question number 3. What NBA team has had 11 head coaches since the year 2000? Their current head coach, Dwayne Casey, arriving at the team after winning Coach of the Year with the Toronto Raptors and promptly being fired.
Yeah, one Coach of the Year, not good enough.
Yep, replaced by Nick Nurse. They did win the title, though, the year after, so fair? I don't know.
Not to Dwayne Casey.
No, not to Dwayne Casey at all.
But anyway,
He's a
the
really
answer
good
to
coach.
that one was?
The Detroit Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
They have had a revolving door since Larry Brown won the title back in 03-04.
Nice. You said Larry Brown. I almost thought, oh, the guy whom the trophy is named after.
That's Larry O'Brien.
It's not the same guy.
Yep.
Question number 4.
Also not Larry David. Other Larry.
No, it's not Larry David. I would love to see him coach a team, though, just for a game.
Yep.
Question number 4. Though it has a larger game tree than tic-tac-toe, that's your big hint there, the limited amount of moves of what Hasbro tabletop game have resulted in a strong solution and guaranteed win for Player 1. Player 1 can always win at Connect 4.
That's why Rajon Rondo always is Player 1.
Wait, that's right.
You know that story that, yeah, Rajon Rondo is absurdly good at Connect 4 until he was beaten by like a 9-year-old girl. They rematched. She won again.
That's amazing. Good for her.
Yep.
Good for her. But yeah, Connect 4, one of a handful of, like, not a handful, I think there's like a couple dozen of strongly solved games, but this is the only one that's like widely available and is a brand name game, you know, not like tic-tac-toe.
Yeah.
Question number 5.
Question number 5. The
One
first
full of
foreign
problems.
film to win the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. What 2001 film takes place in the world of Kami after the protagonist's parents are turned into pigs? All of that happens in Spirited Away. Spirited Away was released in 2001 and won the 2002 Academy Award for Best Animated Feature, becoming just the second film to do it after Shrek.
Yep, Shrek was the one where it was introduced, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Shrek won in 2001, Spirited Away in 2002. Only took 1 year for a foreign film to take home the prize.
Aren't they doing like a Studio Ghibli theme park?
I think they might be.
I've heard of a Studio Ghibli theme park. I thought that was abroad, but I thought they were also doing like a land here domestically, maybe at Universal or something.
Something like Islands of Adventure, something like that.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Question number 6. Seen on the following slide, what AKC recognized dog breed, an Australian sheepdog known for its athletic body and pointed ears, shares its name with a protean creature from Scottish myth that is, as I already revealed to you, a Kelpie. It's a Kelpie. I totally forgot
the slides there.
put the second slide up there.
Yeah, bottled
But
it.
yeah, that's a Kelpie.
Question number 7, seen on the following slide. The Maryland Inn in Annapolis on the left and 47 Plaza on the right are two of the many buildings known by what nickname that is much more famously shared by another East Coast building that was completed in 1902. That nickname is a flat Iron Building.
Yeah, the 1902 Flatiron Building isn't even the oldest Flatiron Building. There are probably, I think it was close to 30, 35 different Flatiron buildings on the Wikipedia page for buildings called Flatiron Building. I did not realize that
You stumbled down the hole.
You did,
There's
yeah.
a lot of disputes.
I'm imagining so.
Who's the real Flatiron?
And then question number 8, commonly made with either egg noodles or potato. What Ashkenazi casserole is popularly served on Shabbat? And that would be hugel. And boy, does that look good. Egg noodles and it looks like scalloped potatoes.
Yeah, scalloped potatoes. Oh, potatoes all rotten.
I too hope there are scalloped potatoes.
Oh, potatoes all rotten, baby.
Oh, so good. TJ.
Let's go over the leaderboard.
Let's meet the teams for tonight.
We've got Red Pandas at Night, Disney's MAGA Kingdom, and ERCOT Center. Weird Lex, but okay. Team Coast to Coast, Kanye West Nile Virus, Third Podium. Publix Defriender, Darth Maul Flanders, B3 Friendstroke and King, Octopodes Nuts, Gentlefolk Octopodes, and Daft Punk No More Times.
No more times.
Is it time to celebrate?
No, not at all. Not at all. Sad day for music. All right. Question number 2, round number 2, rather. Question number 1, you're leading off.
Let's do it.
Excuse me.
Question number 1, the trip from intercourse to climax. Typically takes 4 hours and 20 minutes, because of course it does.
Yeah.
At least that's the case if you're traveling through what American state? What American state has cities named intercourse and climax that are fittingly 4 hours and 20 minutes apart?
At least they were when I looked it up last night.
That is meme-tastic there. What's the meme state? There you go.
That's question number 1.
Boy.
Question number 2, a 2008 made-for-TV movie. I got the year right this time. A 2008 made-for-TV movie subtitled One World marked the final entry in what multimedia franchise about a titular group of entertainers that began as a book series by author Deborah Gregory. Author Deborah Gregory began what multimedia franchise about a titular group of entertainers whose last entry was a made-for-TV film in 2008 subtitled One World. That's question number 2.
Question number 3. As the first U.S. president to visit the country, Lyndon B. Johnson met with what alliterative Australian prime minister who disappeared and presumably drowned in 1967? That's a weird story.
Yeah, it is. Presumably, obviously, you found that. Good.
Yep.
Good job.
As the first U.S. president to visit the country, Lyndon B. Johnson met what alliterative Australian prime minister who disappeared and was presumed drowned in 1967? Who was prime minister in 1967? That's question 3. There's a lot more questions to be asked about that case.
I would say so. Question number 4. This one comes to you from Sarah Ann Rapp. So thank you very much, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Celebrations of Chinese New Year, culminating in the Lantern Festival, have been traced back to what dynasty that succeeded?
Dynasty, please.
That succeeded the initial Qin dynasty and formally established the Silk Road. So again, the Silk Road was formally established under what Chinese dynasty, which succeeded the initial Qin dynasty, and also is the historical root of the Lantern Festival, celebrating Chinese New Year.
Not the Silk Road that got the guy like 214 years
Not
in
that
prison.
Silk Road, no. That's question number 4. Thanks for ruining future questions.
No problem. Question 5. A leading 2021 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame candidate. What man developed a signature complex fusion of jazz, funk, Ghanaian highlife, psychedelic rock, and traditional West African chants and rhythms?
By the way, this question comes to you from Will Gilbert. So thank you, Will.
Thank you, Will. So what man developed a signature complex fusion of jazz, funk, Ghanaian highlife, psychedelic rock, and traditional West African chants and rhythms? They're up for the Hall of Fame this year in rock and roll. That's question 5.
Question number 6. As seen on the following slide, the Cheddar Gorge in Somerset was the
delicious, is what it is.
was the inspiration for what Middle Earth location, whose namesake battle turned on an Orkai, blasting a hole in a fortified wall protecting the army of Rohan. That's the one. As seen on the following slide, and I'll show it to you now, the Cheddar Gorge here was the inspiration for what fictional location in Middle-earth, whose namesake battle turned when an Orkai blasted a hole in a fortified wall protecting the army of Rohan. That is question number 6. What is that Middle-earth location? There you go.
Question number 7. Keratin is the primary component of what filter feeding system used by whales to sift through ocean water and trap krill and other food sources. So keratin is the primary component of what filter feeding system used by whales to sift through ocean water and trap the krill and their other food sources. What whales used to eat? That's question 7.
Certain whales, yes.
Yes. Some whales.
Not killer whales.
Most whales.
All right. Not hashtag not all whales. Jesus.
No. Most whales want to
all right. Question number 8 here in round number 2 is, as promised, a Randy anagram question for you. Rearrange these letters and you'll get a 9-letter word. Your word is fetish man. That's FETISHMAN. Fetish man. Your hint is there's no telling how deep his depravities can go. There's no telling how deep his depravities can go. Who are we talking about? Talking about fetish man. And if you rearrange those letters, you will get what 9-letter word?
What a champion.
That's question number 8. You know what it's time for?
It's a recap.
Let's hit it.
Question number 1. The trip from intercourse to climax typically takes 4 hours and 20 minutes. If you're Sting, maybe. At least that's the case if you're traveling through what American state? What American state has intercourse and climax as cities that fittingly take 4 hours and 20 minutes to get to? That's question 1.
Question number 2.
That question.
Deborah Gregory had a book series about what titular group of entertainers that became a multimedia franchise. That franchise concluded with the 2008 made-for-TV movie subtitled One World. What multimedia franchise is that? That is question number 2.
Yep. Question number 3. As the first U.S. president to win it. Yep, won it.
Australia's mine now.
That's what Dr. Horrible said. Maybe shiny new Australia.
Dangle, dangle.
Lyndon B. Johnson met with what alliterative Australian prime minister who disappeared and presumably drowned in 1967? What alliterative Australian prime minister was still prime minister in 1967 when he disappeared? That's question 3.
And question number 4. This one comes to you from Sarah and Rapp.
Thank you, Sarah.
Celebrations of the Chinese or Lunar New Year, culminating in the Lantern Festival, have been traced back to what dynasty that succeeded the initial Qin dynasty and formally established the Silk Road? That's question number 4.
Question number 5. A leading 2021 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame candidate, what man developed a signature complex fusion of jazz, funk, Ghanaian highlife, psychedelic rock, and traditional West African chants and rhythms? Who is that musician? That's question 5.
And that one again comes to us from Will Gilbert. So
yes,
thank you very much, Will.
Very much, Will.
Question number 6, as seen on the slide here, this is Cheddar Gorge, a location in Somerset. This gorge was the inspiration for what fictional Middle-earth location, whose namesake battle turned when an Orkai blasted a hole in a wall fortifying the army of Rohan? That's question number 6.
Question number 7. Keratin is the primary component of what filter feeding system that is used by whales to sift through ocean water and trap krill and other food sources? What is the name of the system for whales to feed? Some whales. To trap krill and other food sources? That's question 7.
And question number 8. You've got your letters FETISHMAN. That spells fetish man, because of course it does.
Mm-hmm.
And if you rearrange those letters, you will get what 9-letter word? Again, your letters are fetish man, and your hint is there's no telling how deep his depravities can go.
I imagine this isn't the first time somebody's threatened to rearrange fetish man.
Yeah. But anyway, what is that word? That's question number 8. And it is time now to roll it back to the top and hit it with the music and hop away for just a little bit. Hippity hop off for just a moment. So good luck, everybody. We will see you soon. I'll get the timer started, get some filler on, and we hope to see your answers.
Best of luck.
Bye for now.
All right, let's get to those answers. Starting with question number 3. Just to throw you off. Just to throw you off. Gotta keep them guessing. Question number 1. The trip to intercourse to climax typically takes 4 hours and 20 minutes if you're doing it right. At least that's the case if you're traveling through what American state? And that, Pennsylvania. And you already know people are lined up out the door to take pictures with the intercourse and climax states.
Yeah, I was going to do intercourse to climax or intercourse to paradise to climax, but paradise and climax are very close to each other. Obviously, makes sense.
That does
and that would have doubled the length of the trip because you'd have to go from intercourse to climax all the way back to intercourse and then to into paradise, which is next to climax.
You got to double dip to get to paradise. All right. The more you know, you're learning things on this stream,
right? All right, question number 2. A 2008 made-for-TV movie subtitled One World marked the final entry. What multimedia franchise about a titular group of entertainers that began as a book series by author Deborah Gregory?
That moment when you're not paying attention and are like, did Mickey just write a question on the Cheetah Girls?
Mickey just wrote a question on the Cheetah Girls, yeah. The movie One World is most notable for the fact that Raven Simone does not appear in it.
Adrienne Bailon? Does she appear in it?
Yeah, everybody except for Raven Simone.
Okay.
But Adrienne Bailon and Raven Simone have both appeared on The Masked Singer, which makes half of all Cheetah Girls.
Which means everybody's been
Sabrina Bryan and Keely Williams.
Yep. Everybody's guessed the other two at this point.
Absolutely.
It makes sense, though. Question 3.
I'm getting a boy band vibe from this guy. How many times? That's a bingo. That's a bingo.
That is a bingo. As the first U.S. president to visit the country, Lyndon B. Johnson met with what alliterative Australian prime minister who disappeared and presumably drowned in 1967? And this was unfortunately Harold Holt. There he is enjoying his swim.
Yep.
Yeah.
He loved to swim.
Yeah.
He loved to swim. We got some guesses for just Harold and some for Harold Hope, which unfortunately we were not able to take. But Harold Holt was the man who went swimming one day while in office and didn't come back. He was only prime minister from 1966 to 1967.
Yep.
Question number 4. This one comes to you from Sarah Ann Rapp. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Celebrations of Chinese New Year, culminating in the Lantern Festival, have been traced back to what dynasty that succeeded the initial Qin dynasty and formally established the Silk Road? And that would be the Han dynasty. The Han or Western Han dynasty, both acceptable, was essentially the source of today's modern Lantern Festival. So Han was correct, and thanks again, Sarah, for writing that question.
Jerome saying we're mean for not counting Harold.
Are we mean for not counting Harold?
I guess
Nah, can't take first names, sorry.
Question 5. A leading 2021 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame candidate. What man developed a signature at the Han Dynasty shot first?
He's saying mean for the link there that renamed a place the Harold Holt Swim Center.
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
I mean, I'm guessing it was done in his honor, but with absolutely no idea of connotation or whatever.
Yeah, that's not great. Hall of Fame candidate. What band developed a signature complex fusion of jazz funk, Ghanaian highlife, psychedelic rock, and traditional West African chants and rhythms? And that Fela Kuti.
Yep. Kuti, who, by the way, is the leading candidate for the 2021 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, is the largest vote getter at the moment. So Kuti is most likely going to be in the next class. This class is pretty stacked.
It's pretty loaded. I've looked at it a couple times. I almost wrote a question about Bad Company because they're one of them that might get in this time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. And to think they're one of the lower tier ones, in my opinion.
Exactly, yeah.
Question number 6, as seen on the following slide. This one here, the Cheddar Gorge in Somerset is known as the inspiration for what fictional Middle-earth location whose namesake battle turned when an Orcai blasted a hole in a fortified wall protecting the army of Rohan. What did Legolas do, TJ?
Oh, he choked. He bottled it hard. He only got the shoulders at Helm's Deep.
Yes, Helm's Deep. Basically, orcs were battering the fortifications and not making any progress. And then they had laid some kind of explosive, and an Orcai with a torch running like he's late to start the Olympic ceremonies.
He ran, the Chariots of Fire music was going. It was all...
Legolas caught him once on the shoulder, once on the other shoulder, and he fell forward, lit the whole thing up, and it exploded. Helm's Deep. Decisive Rohan victory, but boy, did it look bleak for a while. Talking about it like it was a Super Bowl.
Question 7. Wow. What a comeback in the second half. They had in the first half, I'm not going to lie. Keratin is the primary component of what filter feeding system used by whales to sift through ocean water and trap krill and other food sources? That filter feeding system is a baleen, home of the baleen whale.
Yeah, the baleen whale, as well as other types of whale, use this like bristle-like filter system. You just suck in a bunch of water while underwater and expel it through the baleen, and it just acts like a sifter.
Yep.
And it catches all the little tiny food guys.
All the tiny food guys.
Little tiny food guys. And question number 8.
Can somebody market like a product like just grab a whole bunch of guys and give them the thumbs up? Little tiny food guys.
Yeah, reach into a bowl of little tiny food guys. Oh, that'll hold you over.
It's like a goldfish.
Rearrange the following letters to form a 9-letter word. You've got Fetish Man. You're encountering Fetish Man.
So
and unfortunately, there's no telling how deep his depravities can go. Depth is key when you are designing or creating a mine shaft. So, mine shaft is what you can get when you rearrange the letters in Fetish Man. Unbelievable. This shaft must be 5 miles deep.
Yep.
It's when the Jane Goodall ripoff in The Simpsons Safari has a chimpanzee diamond mine in Tanzania.
On, baby, Simpsons Safari.
All right. Scoring update is what the slide says.
Oh, does it now?
It does indeed. So I believe we're supposed to listen to it. The machines know best.
In 11th place, 8 points tied. Red Pandas at Night in Disney's Magic Kingdom at Epcot Center.
That's a great team name.
10th place, 9 points for Weird Lex, but okay, with the shrugging emoji. Appreciate that.
I like that.
9th place, 10 points for B3 Front Stroke and King. 8th place, 12 points for Third Podium. A whole heap of people tied at 14 points with Team Coast to Coast, Publix Defender, Kanye West Nile Virus, General Folk Octopodes, and Darth Maul Flanders. Stupid Darth Maul Flanders. And tied for first with 16 points, Daft Punk No More Times, and Octopodes Nuts.
All right. Well done, everybody. You've lasted through the first 2 rounds, but as I said, round 4 gets hard, and before that, you've got round 3, which is the music round. So get excited. I'm about to post the link in the YouTube and Octopus Trivia on Twitch streams right now. Sorry, it's a bit of a monster. I think that works. Let me know if it works. If it doesn't, I will post something different. But anyway, that is a link to a Bokaroo page. Apparently, YouTube doesn't want me to post that link. So I'm going to follow the link here. And
good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go.
Oh, there's the sultry tone.
Yeah. There we go.
And it is posted now in the Facebook chat.
Good. It works on Twitch, and here it is on YouTube. Anyway, that is a link to a Vokaroo file, which has your music round. So feel free to listen, rewind, listen again. Take your time with it. I think it's like less than 10 minutes long, and you're going to have or I'm sorry, it's a
Less
little
than 5 minutes.
a little less than or a little more than 5 minutes long,
Yeah,
and you'll have 10 minutes to submit.
Mhm.
1 point again is for each correct artist, 1 point for each correct title, and 2 for the theme. Make sure you have a guess at that because it's worth the most amount of points. If you have any questions regarding access or if you need any help,
That
please
is a monster you posted.
please let us know. But other than that, this will be the last you hear from us until the 2-minute warning. We will not play any filler music, and we will only hop on to help people with technical difficulties. Good luck, everybody. We will see you in about 8 minutes. So,
See you guys.
bye for now. All right, so it's just under 2 minutes until you have to submit your answers. We just wanted to hop on and let you know where the timer stands because, of course, that time can go by a lot quicker than perhaps you think. We will hop back on at the end of the timer and we'll start playing some filler music to kind of play you in. We have 2 responses already from Team Coast to Coast and Daft Punk, No More Times. So thanks very much for turning them in early, and I hope you did well. Good luck, everybody, with the rest of the questions. We'll see you again soon. All right, that is the end of the submission timer. I'm going to hit the surprise me button on our royalty-free music streamer and see what that spits out. In the meantime, make sure that you've got your answers in. We're still waiting on more than a handful of people. Also, while I've got your attention, I want to say thank you to Mark Dawson for chipping in and supporting the stream. And if you would like to chip in and support the stream, you can do so at Venmo, at McKinney Sizemore, at McKinney-Sizemore, my apologies, or Case Sizemore at hotmail.com if you want to play some music. And we will see you as soon as everything gets in and as soon as we evaluate the answers. So go ahead and powder your nose, grab yourself a snack. We'll be back soon.
Maybe it's time we all gave even a chance. Even the devil needs a friend.
All right, we are back from that scoring break. All the answers are now in, and everything is accounted for. Just time to reveal.
Take us through it.
All right, song number 1 was Fallen Angel by Poison.
This is definitely one of those songs that occupies that short list of 2, 3 in the morning. Karaoke in the living room. Few drinks in, no microphone, totally a cappella.
Yep. Yeah. That's a
All
mood.
those
That's a
categories.
mood.
That's a mood. Song number 2 was Angel of the Morning by Juice Newton. Definitely a song that I'm most familiar with because of the sample in the Shaggy Ray Vaughan song we used last week, as well as the opening to the first Deadpool film. But that was the song there in question. And TJ, song number 3 was?
Song number 3 was Morning Has Broken by Yusef Islam, also known as Cat Stevens.
I was not sure how this one would play, and it very much looks like it played easily. So, you were right.
I was right about that. Yeah.
You were right about that one. Song number 4 was Broken and Beautiful by Kelly Clarkson.
From the film Ugly Dolls. Came out a few months ago.
Are they trying to do the Trolls thing where they're like a toy brand that has a really catchy pop song and people see the movie because it's good? Okay.
Probably.
Well, I also hadn't heard of this song until...
Heard
yesterday?
on the radio a few times. You heard about it about 2 hours ago.
I think so. And let's see, song number 5, TJ.
That was Beautiful Soul by Jesse McCartney, sticking with the theme of people who have been on The Masked Singer.
Yeah, I mean, it's the more seasons they have, it's going to be harder to avoid.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. Song number 6 was Soul to Squeeze by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. This is one of those Chili Pepper songs, which, by the way, if you sit down and think about it, you don't realize it, but you could probably name 12 or 15 that get played on the radio pretty frequently. And this is one of the ones that
you may not know the name of it, but you can start saying, "Hey, yeah,
that one,
the one I'll give you some of my design, right?"
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Song number 7, TJ, was
Squeeze Box by The Who. Yeah. One of the highest charting singles by The Who in America. Yeah.
And we are going to take a look now at song
turned into Young Morrissey.
Oof.
Maybe not.
Scenes for him.
Asshole.
Scenes for him.
Yeah.
And song number 8, the last one was Box of Rain by the Grateful Dead. TJ, what was our connection?
It was giving a shout out to a old game show network show, King Reaction. So basically what happened here is I decided I wanted to do a word jade. I went into a random word generator and just spammed the random button and closing my eyes for about 30 seconds. And the first one that came up was Angel, so I decided that's going to be the last word of the first song.
Yep, so we got Fallen Angel of the Morning has broken and beautiful soul to squeeze Box of Rain.
Yep.
Well done. That was a total TJ original. Thank you very much for inflicting that upon us in such a pleasant way. Let's go now to round number 4 and get some of this cooking.
That's going to sad react for me that McCartney turns into a young horse. He's also the one that yells. He plays the Who that yells important here.
The one who sounds his barbaric yop.
Yeah, let's out a yop.
Yep. And now, round number 4, question number 1. TJ, start us off.
Question number 1, born into upper crust New York society with the name Newbold Jones, the family of what American author and first female recipient of the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction is said to be the inspiration for the phrase, keeping up with the Joneses. So born into the upper crust New York society with the name Newbold Jones, the family of what American author and first female recipient of the Pulitzer for fiction is said to be the inspiration for the phrase "keeping up with the Joneses"? That is question 1. What's that author?
Question number 2. What R. Crumb character follows the partial title The 9 Lives of in a sequel to the character's first feature film, the first animated film to receive an X rating?
Oh,
right?
it got spicy.
So what character, created by R. Crumb, features in the partial title The 9 Lives of? That 9 Lives film was a sequel to this character's first feature, which was the first animated film to receive an X rating. We're looking for the name of that character. That is question number 2.
Question number 3. A Greek word meaning to drip is the etymological root of what word for a type of speleothem?
Speleothem.
Speleothem, yeah.
Yep.
Speleothem, commonly composed of limestone, tough ice, and
Though
lava.
ice.
Though ice.
Yeah. Though ice.
Though
and
ice.
Lava.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Though ice and lava types are also well known.
Okay. I really thought I was part of the ice. I was like, what the fuck is though ice? We're going to have a chat about that.
That ice, though.
That ice, though. Well, you had drip in there already. I thought you were going full. A Greek word meaning to drip is the etymological word of what word for a type of speleothem, commonly composed of limestone, though ice and lava types are also well known.
That was not the friendliest question for the reader. I apologize.
What the hell is though ice? Yeah. Because it comes after a comma, so I was like, what's though ice?
You pause at the comma, and then you go, though ice. All right, question number 4. Gangster Ralph Capone, not Al, though he was Al's brother, ran a Chicago and Culver City location of what popular Manhattan club that was originally rented and owned by boxer Jack Johnson? Boxer Jack Johnson rented the original space and served as owner of what popular Manhattan club whose satellite locations include a Chicago and Culver City property that were run by gangster Ralph Capone.
How often you get gangster in Culver City in there?
Or Ralph Capone.
Yeah.
That's question number 4. I wonder what's in his vault.
Probably more booty trash.
Probably just like old cheeseburger wrappers.
Question number 5. It would take a 21-hour flight to get to the title city of what 1969 off-Broadway revue that, not too surprisingly, takes its name from a sexual French pun from a nude painting by Clovis Troyot.
Just to clarify, the whole thing about it taking a 21-hour flight would be if you left from Broadway.
Okay.
Yep.
So if you left from Broadway, it took a 21-hour flight to get to the title city of what 1969 off-Broadway revue that, not too surprisingly, takes its name from a sexual French pun from a nude painting by Clovis Troyot. That is question 5. What's that off-Broadway revue?
Question number 6. Singer Billy Paul sued for unauthorized use of his most famous song when Nike aired a series of advertisements promoting what track star who was stripped of her 5 Olympic medals in connection with the Balco scandal. So the aftermath of the Balco scandal resulted in the disqualification of what Olympic track star who earned 5 Olympic medals, all of which were rescinded. That is question number 6.
Question number 7. The Peace of Augsburg was signed in the aftermath of a war between the Holy Roman Empire and what alliance of Lutheran states in Northern Europe, a league named for a city in what is now southwestern Germany. Southwestern Germany is what now was named for a league in Northern Europe that had a war between the Holy Roman Empire in which the Peace of Augsburg was signed. That is question 7.
And moving on to our last one of round number 4. Question number 8. Scrabble assigns a 5 and 4-point value to the first 2 letters of what fermented Slavic beverage made from rye bread. So a particular type of fermented low-alcohol Slavic beverage made from rye bread begins with 2 letters that Scrabble assigns a 5 and 4-point value to. We're looking for the name of that Slavic beverage. Again, the first 2 letters begin with a 5 and 4-point value tile according to Scrabble. That's question number 8.
Not going to work with friends.
I made sure to check that.
Yeah.
And now it's time for the recap.
Question number 1. Born to upper crust New York society with the name Newbold Jones, the family of what American author and first female recipient of the Pulitzer for fiction is said to be the inspiration for the phrase keeping up with the Joneses?
And question number 2. What R. Crumb character finishes the title The 9 Lives of? This character is also notable for their feature film debut being the first X-rated animated film. That's question number 2.
Question number 3. A Greek word meaning to drip is the etymological root of what word for a type of speleothem commonly composed of limestone, though ice and lava types are also well known? We didn't screw it up that time.
No, I don't think so.
That's question 3.
Question 4. Gangster Ralph Capone ran a Chicago and Culver City location of what popular Manhattan club that was originally rented and owned by boxer Jack Johnson? That's question number 4.
Question number 5. It would take a 21-hour flight off of Broadway to get to the title city of what 1969 off-Broadway review that, not too surprisingly, takes its name from a sexual French pun from a nude painting by Clovis Triot? That is question 5. What's that off-Broadway review?
And question number 6. Singer Billy Paul sued for unauthorized use of his most famous song when Nike aired a series of advertisements promoting what track star who was later stripped of her 5 Olympic medals in the aftermath of the Balco scandal? Balco.
Question 7. The Peace of Augsburg was signed in the aftermath of a war between the Holy Roman Empire and what alliance of Lutheran states in Northern Europe? A league that was named for a city in what is now southwestern Germany. What is the name of that alliance? It's question 7.
And question number 8. Scrabble assigns a 5 and 4-point value to the first 2 letters of what fermented Slavic beverage with a low alcohol content made from rye bread? That's question number 8. That is the question for round number 4. So let's roll it back to the top, get that timer ready to go. Not going to be 10 minutes this time.
Nope.
And good luck, everybody. I heard somebody asking for Soka Fusion, but I do not have access to Soka. So I'm going to do something else as I make us disappear. And best of luck, everyone. See you soon. Okay, so at least one of those questions didn't play nearly as hard as I thought it would. One, however, was according to plan. So now let's take a look at the answers from round number 4, starting with TJ.
All right, question 1. Born to the upper crust of New York society with the name Newbold Jones. The family of what American author and first female recipient of the Pulitzer for fiction is said to be the inspiration for Keeping Up with the Joneses? That is Edith Wharton.
Originally, I had that as born with the names Newbold Jones, not Newland, like Newland Archer from Age of Innocence. But I didn't feel like being that nice here around number 4. Y'all have really been kicking our questions in the rump. So
kicking them in the rump.
Kicking them in the rump the last few weeks. So wanted to see if I could test you a little bit.
Scratch you.
Question number 2. What R. Crumb character appears in the partial title that begins The 9 Lives of? That film is a sequel to this character's first feature film outing, in which they became the first animated film to receive an X rating. Used the word film quite a lot there.
Yeah.
That's poor editing. And that is Fritz the Cat. It was difficult to find a picture of Fritz the Cat that was oriented in landscape, well pixeled, like, highly resolved, and did not feature cartoon nudity.
Yep.
I was going to have to center out some cat boobs if I went with some of the pictures. But found that one, and that's Fritz the Cat.
Yep. Question 3. A Greek word meaning to drip is the etymological root of what word named for the speleotheum commonly composed of limestone? Though ice and lava types are also well known, those are stalactites.
And not a single one of you said stalagmites, so very good for you. The hint, of course, being that it drips down, so it's a stalactite. But yeah, stalactites are composed of a lot of things, including rat urine. That's actually a type. Question number 4. Gangster Ralph Capone ran a Chicago and Culver City location of what popular Manhattan club that was originally rented and owned by boxer Jack Johnson? You have got to get this one right, and it looks like everybody did, which is the only reason I would say that. That is the Cotton Club. So many amazing black musicians came up through the Cotton Club, including original musician Duke Ellington. That's where Duke Ellington got his start. Yeah.
Question number 5. It would take a 21-hour flight from Broadway to get to the title city of what 1969 off-Broadway revue that, not too surprisingly, takes its name from a sexual French pun from a nude painting by Clovis Trail. That is O Calcutta.
Yep. And O Calcutta, the painting, is over there on the left, very much like LHOOQ by Duchamp. It translates to, oh, what an arse you have.
Yeah.
Or it's a homophone, rather, for oh, what an arse you have in French.
Yeah.
And back here we are. Question number 6. Singer Billy Paul sued for unauthorized use of his most famous song when Nike aired a series of advertisements promoting what track star who was stripped of her 5 Olympic medals in connection with the Balco scandal.
Oh, 2005.
This all began because I was very curious about why have we not heard about more from Billy Paul. Billy Paul, who did Me and Mrs. Jones, and Mrs. Jones in this case was Marion Jones. So Marion Jones was the answer there. So you can see there that she's got the flag of the United States, and I think that's also the flag of Belize, which is where she was born. So Marion Jones is the answer to that.
Question number 7.
Verify
the Peace
that.
of Augsburg was signed in the aftermath of a war between the Holy Roman Empire and what alliance of Lutheran states that in Northern Europe, a league named for a city that is now in southwest Germany.
Yep, that is Belize.
And that is the Schmalkaldic League.
There we go. I know y'all might have said Hanseatic League, and I think that's what you're referring to, Jerome, by saying it's not really in southwestern Germany. But the Hanseatic League was more of a trading union. The Schmalkaldic League was a bunch of Lutheran power players who got together and essentially decided that we believe in a lot of things the Holy Roman Empire believes in, but also they're wrong about a lot of things, and we think we can replace them.
So the Schmalkaldic League was born.
Yes, and of course that is the league most likely to be pronounced in the accent of Sean Connery. Also, Marion Jones is Belize by ancestry, not birth. She was born in L.A. Yep, something like that. And question number 8. This one y'all did really well on. I think only one team got it wrong, and believe me, my sympathies, because I didn't know this before this week. Scrabble assigns a 5 and 4-point value to the first 2 letters of what fermented Slavic beverage made from rye bread? That is called kvass. Kvass, also frequently flavored with fruit, especially raisins, is a beverage that typically has a less than 1% ABV and is made from rye bread.
All right.
Seems like something I'd like to have one time. Jay.
12th place, 18 points for Disney's Magic Kingdom at ERCOT Center. 11th place, 19 points for Red Pandas at Night. We have tied for 9th place, 31 points a slice for Weird Lex, but okay, and B3 Front Stroke and King.
Sorry about that.
8th place, 34 points for Public Steve Friender. 7th place for 36 points with Darth Maul Flanders. Tied for 3rd, we have 3rd podium, Team Coast to Coast, Kanye West Nile Virus, and Gentlefolk Octopodes, all with 38 points. 2nd place, 39 points for Octopodes Nuts. And in 1st place with 42 points so far, a perfect score.
That is improbable, for sure.
Daft Punk, no more times.
3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it looks like they should have had 7, so let me just double check and see where that was missing. Interesting. It's doing that thing again. It did that for one team last week. Team Coast to Coast, yeah, you definitely earned 7 on that last round. For some reason, it's not showing up. So what I'm going to do is after the stream, most likely, I'm going to manually input your answers and then make sure that it force updates.
Yep, so they should be tied for 2nd with 39 points then.
They should be tied for 2nd with 39 points?
Yeah, because
okay.
they put them from 6 to 7.
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and assume that extra point because you did earn it. I did look at your forum responses. And then, like I said, after the stream, I will put it in and make sure it's official. Cool. But for now, let's move on to our final round.
We are just breezing by tonight.
Yes, we are. I feel like we should have had 8 that round. B3 front stroking. Well, let me take a look. Thank you for bringing all this up. We got some time. B3. Yes, 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 and yes. Okay.
8, yeah.
Does it say 8 on the leaderboard?
No, it does not.
It does not.
No.
Oof. What is going
B3 is listed as having 7 in that round.
That is odd because I see everything here under acceptable answers is all fine. I'll be taking a look at that for sure. But anyway, let's move on to round number 5, and I'll fix it after the fact. Question number 1. TJ, take it away.
Sure. Petals on the Wind, Garden of Shadows, and Seeds of Sorrow are among the thematically titled works in the 5-part Doppelganger series, a cycle that began with what extremely controversial novel by V.C. Andrews. An extremely controversial novel by V.C. Andrews sets in part a 5-part cycle called the Doppelganger series that includes Petals on the Wind, Garden of Shadows, and Seeds of Sorrow. What's the name of that beginning novel? That's question 1.
Question number 2. Region Haute-France was formed as the result of a 2014-16 merger of Picardy and another region, home to what city, which has historically been the most significant port for trade between France and England? What city in the new region of Haute-de-France has historically been the most significant port between France and England? That one is question number 2.
Question number 3. SB Nation content creator John Boyes is credited with coining what portmanteau term for charting every possible outcome of NFL games? The Cleveland Browns most recently satisfied the requirements of the term with their first playoff win since 1994. So the Cleveland Browns' first playoff win since 1994 this past season was the last to satisfy what term that was created by John Boyes after charting every possible outcome from NFL games. That is question 3. What's that term?
All right, question number 4. A classic episode of the Mary Tyler Moore Show. That really should be italicized. The crew of WJM TV struggle with their reactions to the absurd death of a clown with what appropriately risible name? So in a classic episode of the Mary Tyler Moore Show, the crew struggles with their reactions to the death of what clown? That's question number 4.
Question number 5. Actor and former professional football player Anthony Spice Adams is the star of a popular internet meme in which an opportunistic man rubs his hands together while lurking behind a tree and wearing a jacket of what color? What color jacket is in the meme where the guy is rubbing his hands together behind a tree? That is question 5. That's right, meme content.
Darn right. Question number 6. In an effort to showcase black art, Michelle Obama personally selected pieces by what artist, including Watusi, Hard Edge, and Skylight, works seen on the following slide. That should have also been italicized.
You didn't have your italics game on.
I did not. But anyway, the work on the left is called Watusi, Hard Edge. The work on the right is Skylight. Both of these works were by what black artist, whose works were selected by Michelle Obama for exhibition at the White House? That right there is question number 6. Give you some more time with those. There we are.
And moving on now to question number 7. What hip-hop artist released both his debut album, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, in 1998, as well as Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood that same year, with both records debuting at the top of the Billboard 200? So what hip-hop artist in 1998 released their debut album, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, as well as Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, both in 1998, and both went straight to number 1 on the Billboard 200? That's question 7.
All right. And question number 8 with a career total of 5. Which director of a Phase 1 film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe has the most Academy Award nominations of any filmmaker to helm an MCU film? Among the directors who've directed a film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, what director of a Phase 1 film has the most Academy Award nominations with a career total of 5? That's question number 8. That is the end of the game for now. Let's go to the recap.
Let's go to the recap.
Do it one more time.
Question number 1. Petals on the Wind, Garden of Shadows, and Deeds of Sorrow are among the thematically titled works in the 5-part Doppelganger series, a cycle that began with what extremely controversial novel by V.C. Andrews? What V.C. Andrews novel kicked off the Doppelganger series? That's question 1.
And in question number 2, the newly created region, Haute-France, was formed as a merger of Picardy and another region home to what city? This city has historically been the most significant port for trade between France and England. That is question number 2. Specifically, those 2.
Question number 3. SB Nation content creator John Boyce is credited with coming up with what portmanteau term for charting every possible outcome in NFL games? The Cleveland Browns were the most recent to fulfill the requirements of this term after winning their first playoff game since 1994. As question 3 was that term.
Question number 4. In a classic episode of The Mary Tyler Moore Show, crew struggle with their reaction to the absurd death of a clown with what appropriately risible name? That's question number 4. Number 5, TJ.
Question number 5. Actor and former professional football player Anthony Spice Adams is the star of a popular internet meme in which an opportunistic man rubs his hands together while lurking behind a tree. What color jacket is Mr. Adams wearing in that meme? That's question 5.
Question number 6. In an effort to promote black artists, Michelle Obama personally selected Watusi, Hard Edge, the work on the left, and Skylight, the work on the right. 2 pieces that were by what artist? What black artist created Watusi, Hard Edge, and Skylight, pieces that were personally selected by Michelle Obama for exhibition at the White House? That is question number 6.
Question number 7. What hip-hop artist released both his debut album, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, in 1998, as well as the follow-up, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, in the same year? Both records debuted at the top of the Billboard 200. What artist? That's question 7.
And question number 8, with a career total of 5. Which director of a Phase 1 film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe has the most Academy Award nominations of any director of a film in the MCU? 5 Academy Award nominations, more nominations than any director in the MCU. Which director are we talking about? That's question number 8, so I'm going to roll it back to the top. We are going to set up the timer, and for the last time...
We will see you in just a few.
Exactly. Good luck, and see you soon. All right. We are back with the correct answers here from round number 5. Let's go ahead and take a look at those, starting with question number 1.
Yep. Petals on the Wind, Garden of Shadows, and Seeds of Sorrow are among the thematically titled works in the 5-part Dollenganger series, a cycle that begins with what extremely controversial novel by V.C. Andrews, and that novel is Flowers in the Attic.
No shortage of reasons why that one
Yeah.
was challenged. Tons and tons of stuff are a part of that. I read the basic plot of it last night, and it seems really compelling, but boy, is it messed up.
Yep.
Question number 2. The region Haute-de-France was formed as the result of a 2014-16 merger of Picardy and another region, home to what city, which has historically been the most significant port for trade between France and England? That would be Calais. Right there is the new region of Haute-de-France. If you gave us Nord Pas de Calais, we gave you credit for that because that is the other region that merged with Picardy to become Haute-de-France. So that is totally fine. And question number 3.
Question number 3. SB Nation content creator John Boyes is credited for coining what portmanteau term for charting every possible outcome of NFL games. Cleveland Browns were the last ones to fulfill this requirement by getting their first playoff win since 1994. That wasn't the reason, but it was because it was scoregami, which means it has never happened in the history of the NFL. This exact score has. The Browns actually, I know of, had 2 scoregamis this past year. One was the memorable, at least for us as well, Monday Night Football game between the Ravens. What a ending, and thank you for that safety.
Reasons.
Yeah.
Question number 4. In a classic episode of the Mary Tyler Moore Show, the crew of WJM-TV struggle with their reaction to the absurd death of a clown with what appropriately risible name? The clown was marching in, I believe it was a Thanksgiving parade, with a peanut costume on.
And an elephant ate it.
An elephant picked him up and, as they say, shelled him.
Ooh.
I know, right? That would be Chuckles. Chuckles the Clown, the episode wonderfully titled Chuckles Bites the Dust.
Yeah. And question 5. Actor and former professional football player Anthony Spice Adams is the star of a popular internet meme, which an opportunistic man rubs his hands together while lurking behind a tree and wearing a jacket of what color? Come on, everybody's seen it. He's wearing the yellow jacket. I'll get in on this.
My dog waiting for me to drop a piece of food on the floor.
Yeah, baby.
One of my favorites. Question number 6. In an effort to showcase black artists, Michelle Obama personally selected pieces by what artist, including Watusi, Hard Edge, and Skylight, as seen on this slide here. So Watusi, Hard Edge, there on the left, and Skylight, there on the right, are both works by Alma Thomas. Alma Woodsy Thomas. Her name is the same as the popular No Pollution Owl. Also, she was the first graduate of the Department of Arts at Howard University.
Nice.
And question number 7.
Question number 7. What hip-hop artist released both his debut album, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, in 1998, as well as Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood that same year, with both albums reaching the top of the Billboard 200? You already know it's time for X to give it to his DMX.
Yeah, so how did this question begin, TJ?
This question began because I was very curious to see if a artist had ever released their debut and follow-up in the same year and both charted number 1. It's happened like 5 times.
And, but you're pretty sure the most recent time was...
Yeah, I think one of the most recent times was DMX, though.
Makes
having
sense.
A full studio album. I didn't count like mixtapes and EPs and stuff like that.
Right, of course.
Yep.
And question number 8, our last one. With a career total of 5, which director of a Phase 1 film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe has the most Academy Award nominations of any director of a film in the MCU? I was surprised we didn't get any Taika Waititi's. I mean, obviously Taika Waititi wasn't in Phase 1, but was nominated for what? 2 Academy Awards? And won one of them? Yeah. But the person we were looking for is actually the director of the oft-forgotten Thor, the original, and that was Kenneth Branagh. Kenneth Branagh has been nominated for 5 Academy Awards across 4 different categories: actor, supporting actor, director, and live-action short film. So Kenneth Branagh was the answer. TJ,
Let's
take a look at
go
the results.
to results. Time to go to results.
For everybody who is missing a point, I am reaching out to our tech guy because it was in round number 4 last week that we had a team missing a point. So I have a feeling there's just something off with the code. But I'll get that right as soon as possible.
In 12th place, 22 points for Red Pandas at Night. 11th place, 23 points for Disney's Magic Kingdom and ERCOT Center. 10th place, 37 points for Weird Lex, but it's okay. And 9th place, 38 points for B3 Front Stroking King. 8th place, 39 points for Peck Public's Defender. 7th place, 43 points for Darth Maul Flanders. Tied for 5th, 44 points. 3rd podium, and Team Coast to Coast. 4th place, all by themselves, 45 points. Kanye West Now Virus. Tied for 2nd, 46 points a slice for Octopodes Nuts and Gentlefolk Octopodes. Both the Octopodes got to stick together. And coming in 1st place, just off of a perfect score, missing one in the last round. I think it was Scorigami. Is Daft Punk No More Times.
Sad. But excellent team name, and thanks for playing. 49 out of 50 is an amazing score.
That's an amazing score, especially when we made an active
effort
decision to
here you go, Schmolkaldickly. Here, Kavas, Alma Thomas. Take all of it. Take it all.
Take it all down.
Yeah. Hopefully some of that stuff comes up in Learned League later this season and can help you out. And by the way, today is the first day of Learned League, so make sure that you submit and do not forfeit. Good luck with the questions, too.
Yep.
Thanks, everybody, for being a part of it.
Our quick question tomorrow.
Yes, please pay attention to that. And if you'd like, we have posted in the chats the link to a classical music quiz. There are 60 questions there. Read through them and feel free to pay what you want. Both of the appropriate payment handles are here and also on the answers form. If you feel like supporting us and rewarding those efforts, Venmo at McKinney-Sizemore or PayPal at ksizemore@hotmail.com are great ways to reach us. It's never, of course, required to donate. We love doing it. Love bringing you questions.
And we'll be back next week with another 40.
Absolutely.
Maybe it'll be just us drinking on stream.
Another 40.
Brought a 40. Sorry. Well, you expected questions? I just said there was a 40.
Fun.
On that note, everybody, good night.
Good night.